What is up, the YouTube Steam blockchain? So I was reading this very interesting post on the internet that sort of, well, it sparked my interest, and I wanted to do a video with it. So it was a post on Inc.com. The title was "The Secret Apple Presentation Reveals How AR Glasses Will Eventually Replace iPhones." Now, I want to have the title of this video more focus on just the idea of AR glasses, augmented reality glasses, and how well, if Apple can reveal this 2022, 2023, may it be a moment that Apple sort of, maybe it can be a moment as the moment when Apple created the first iPhone, when they actually made something totally new that sort of became a paradigm shift in many ways, even though it took many, many years after that to sort of get something super cool. What I'm talking about, of course, is the first iPhone, how it sort of changed the design on how people sort of, the vision that sort of people had and how they were sort of looking at a smartphone. Or, well, that was like the first real smartphone in some ways. The phones before that, they were they were more like they were more like this, okay, before the iPhone, which is kind of weird, right? So, okay, so this article is kind of cool. So, okay, so a secret Apple presentation. So they're basically saying in the not too distant future, there's very real chance that you might not look at the iPhone carry around. That's at least what Apple believes. And then that you had an Apple presentation that sort of got leaked about that Apple may release augmented reality augmented reality headset 2022. So first of all, my experience with virtual reality. So augmented reality is a little bit more laid back. It's not fully virtual reality. So virtual reality I tested 2016 with the HTC Vive, and it's it really is too good. I also tried the Samsung Gear VR, which is a wireless version, which is a little bit more simplistic. You put it on your head, and that one was also pretty amazing. But it still is, just because you can't really see that much around you, it doesn't really seem like the thing that's really gonna take off. So I'm really into this Apple thing here with augmented reality, and that idea is, well, you can just have some screen on some other surface and you can see some important information. It seems that that is more the ideal version, where you're sort of seeing reality and you're sort of laying on top of a screen sometimes, because if you can do that, you don't really have to walk around. Most of the times, you don't have to walk around with the device, because if you just need to see some quick information, you can do it. Now, there's a lot of questions here of, well, you need a pretty good display, right? And you need to be able to screen it on a surface. So it needs to be a really, really amazing screen. And I'm I'm not really sure if you can pull it off this early, 2022, 2023. But then again, I see how good smartphones are now with the Galaxy S10 Plus. So I can see that in some ways it would make sense to sort of eventually sort of move towards this. I'm just not sure if it's gonna happen this fast. Because, well, you need some kind of, okay, I'm gonna see if I can, if there was something more interesting here. So in about a decade, the presentation said augmented reality glasses will ultimately replace smartphones and make the handset you use each day obsolete. Yeah, I mean that's definitely something that's gonna happen, probably, because I mean 10 years, yes, that sort of makes sense. But 2022, 2023, we don't really know yet. Augmented reality describes technology with virtual elements overlaid on the real world to provide contextual information. Exactly. So when you just need to have some quick information somewhere, and you just don't want to pick up a device, or maybe have a smartwatch. So Apple CEO Tim Cook has made it clear that his company firmly believes augmented reality, not virtual reality, is critical to the future. Okay, that's sort of interesting. And then the Apple has been rumored for years to make some AR glasses. Now, this idea of glasses is kind of interesting. So let me cover that. Internal Apple's turn. Okay, blah blah blah. Yeah, but I mean, so for, this idea of glasses is kind of interesting because, well, first we had the Google glasses 2011, and that one flopped, right? I'm not exactly sure if it was 2011, but well, if we're looking back at it, then the thing with sort of Google is they're only good at search. Everything else they fail at. So the Google Glasses idea, like Google, you suck at social media. They suck at trying to make some tech gadget thing. They're just not good at it. If Apple made some Google Glass thing, it may actually be more of a big success. Now, I can see this useful. The contextual information I can see useful. And we should also remember that the Google Glass idea, that one came in a time period when smartphones was not really even good. I mean, they were horrible, to be honest. And we sort of know it takes around 10 years to sort of mature a lot of technology. So 2022, 2023, I can actually see some decent thing coming out. If I can have some glasses that I can put on that can do all that my Galaxy S10 Plus can do, and if I can just have a screen somewhere. I haven't tested it with like a smaller screen and how that would be, but I know it should work in some sort of way. How I want to be able to see a screen somewhere in front of my eyes, but I don't want to hold up a smartphone. And even to that, even well, 2019 here, we don't have the technology to do this in a elegant way at the moment. So it's like it's very interesting. Like if we go back, you could do very cool things even in the 90s or in the 80s, but when the technology wasn't really there yet, it still did not make sense to do certain stuff. So we can sort of see this on video, for example, how I sort of felt like before the Galaxy S10 Plus, the front-facing video camera was just horrible. So vlogs made less sense. But even if you could do it on the Galaxy S2 in 2012, you could do vlogs and stuff like that with the front-facing camera, but it would not look good, and it would seem silly in many ways. It would be like, well, just wait until the technology improves and then use the technology that's amazing, and you don't have to do all the silly nonsense then you can do something that fits more into that time, maybe photos. But now when it gets better, when it gets better, when video finally works great on the smartphone and front facing, it's like, okay, we're gonna do video now, right? So it's a lot about timing. So AR glasses may actually work 2022, 2023. It all depends how good the technology is then. It all depends also how good smartphones is then. Maybe smartphones are going to be super extra thin then. Maybe we don't even feel that we need the AR glasses. Or maybe we have a big tall box, big machine that just do so much stuff that we use voice and just have some smartwatch. Who knows? Who knows what is sort of going to take off? It all depends how quickly these companies are sort of going to innovate and if they sort of see a profit incentive. But we still see virtual reality is quite far off. Even though it came early 2016, it's like you need to connect all these systems with like digital value systems as we're doing with blockchain systems and all this, and all these hardware companies sort of needs to go into seeing that they're getting a lot of value from digital systems instead that are dematerialized, so they don't feel so much pressure at like slowing down a lot of innovation as they many times like seems to be doing. I love this idea. I love this idea of not having to touch a device, not having to pick up a device. I really think eventually we are going to move towards some amazing sort of dematerialized future. But is it going to happen already 2022, 2023? Who knows? But we can see how technology sort of doubles every 2 years. So, well, it may happen actually. It may happen. And if it happens that quick, well, that can be kind of exciting. AR. So, AR glasses, or maybe it's not even glasses, but just some augmented reality thing. Maybe you have a little small device that can like beam out a screen somewhere, because the screen is really important for a lot of people to like do some quick stuff. And if you can have some small little device that can do this with internet access, that's amazing. Doesn't have to be glasses, can be something else. But if it is a smaller device, it can really become trendy, especially if it is very, very capable. I can really see that take off in many ways. So maybe we're going to see this already 2022, 2023, and eventually see sort of smartphones sort of get phased out. Yeah, it may actually happen that fast. And I don't think most people actually would expect it. But yeah, people always get surprised over how quick some sort of things do go. Yeah, have a great day, DTube.